So what is today? What is today? When I ask that question to many people are going to take it as, well, what day of the week it is, what day of the month, what time is it? What is today? Today is a day of realizing that the things that are created to help us are the things that are used to enslave us. Let me repeat that one more time. The things that are created to help us are the things that are used to enslave us. Let me repeat that one more time. The things that are created to help us are the things that are created to enslave us. Reflect on that one for a little bit. I'm gonna take a bite. What does that mean? It means that the way this world operates is something presents. And when something presents, think of it like energy is being sent out. If nothing interferes with what gets presented, then it just keeps going. Which means that something might reach a destination. Something might reach the sun. Let's say we shoot energy and we're trying to reach the sun. If there's nothing that interferes with that, the energy will reach the sun. So what do we call that interference? That interference is what I call counterbalance. Counterbalance is what many of you have come to identify as heroes in a story. What stops the villain? What stops the bad guys? What prevents the things that are exploiting, from corrupting, from doing negative things to people? What stops that from continuing? Think about, how do we stop a bully? Well, usually someone interferes or someone fights back. Do you guys understand? That's what I call counterbalance. An interference that prevents something from continuing and continuing and continuing. What would happen if we started removing the counterbalance in every single area of our lives that we operate in, all of us? What would happen? Well, some people would take it very drastically and think, well, wouldn't that mean that the people getting bullied are gonna suffer? Wouldn't that mean that the people are gonna get hurt? There might be more pain in this world? There might be problems in this world? What if I told you, all of you, each and every single one of you, or anyone who's listening, including myself who re-listens to this down the road, that that's exactly the problem? Because if a counterbalance exists, hear what I'm saying and write it down. If a counterbalance exists, does that not mean that if I know that, if I'm the person who's creating the force, that means that I know that a counterbalance is going to present, which means that I can continue doing what I'm doing because I know that there's going to be a force, an entity, anything. It doesn't matter how severe it is, that's going to interfere, that's going to counterbalance things to make things much more equal. If that's true, doesn't that actually create room, create leeway, create an opening, create access, create an opportunity for the darkness, for the negative energy, for the bad to continue existing? If there was no counterbalance, if there was no solution, if there was nothing that any of us could do to balance out something that we are experiencing, do you understand? That means that that thing is broken. That thing is overtuned. That thing is not balanced. People are like, yeah, well, yeah, of course that makes sense. But think about it, guys. If something is not balanced, that means that that thing will just guaranteed win. We'll be able to accomplish reaching the sun every single time without fail because there is no counterbalance present. So I ask all of you, would you all want to operate in a reality, in a world that there's going to be certain evil and certain bad that is just guaranteed to always succeed. And there's nothing we can all do about it. Imagine if every single illness, if every single weather event that happened, oh guys, it's going to start raining in an hour. The moment it starts raining, if any of us are outside and we don't take shelter, or we aren't like underneath a mushroom or like some kind of tree that blocks the rain, rain is actually acid and it burns us and we will all die. So that means we need shelter to protect ourselves from the rain. What if we don't have shelter? Do you guys see? There's a counterbalance there. There's actually a solution. Think of it as it's so cold outside, it's going to start snowing, it's freezing. Well, isn't there counterbalances present? We can put layers on. We can turn off the heat. We can start a fire in some ruins so that we can warm up our hands and feel like we're not all alone. Do you all understand? If there's a counterbalance present, it creates room, it creates access, it creates the opportunity for negative to continue existing. If there was no counterbalance present, do you guys understand that means that you have to slowly but surely remove a negative from the world? You would have to prevent it. You have to make it either extremely rare or you have to completely, temporarily eliminate it. Because if it continues to exist and there's no positive counterbalance that can counteract the effects, that means that there's just inevitable destruction. It's guaranteed ruin. And I ask all of you, would any of us stay at a location? Would any of us stay at a location that has guaranteed death, guaranteed loss, guaranteed ruin? Would we? I ask all of you, think about this, guys. If I say whatever storyline you're doing right now, your home you live in, the relationship you are, your friends, the job you work at, anything you do, any activity, even if it could be fun things like watching TV shows or playing video games, it doesn't matter what you do. If there is no counterbalance present, if you don't experience any positives from it, if you're not getting any benefit from it, not even a +1. +1 could be as simple as taking a bite of food. If you experience 0 positives from something, 0, do you all understand that means that we are going to operate differently, all of us? If all of you watch my stuff and you are like, why are you seem a little different today? It's because I have 0 counterbalance in me. I have nothing that is softening my heart. I have nothing. What is nothing? An other. Think of it like a girl that I'm talking to, or some kids that I want to help heal, or something that I want to guide. You see, like something that would soften my heart to make me realize, wait a minute, I shouldn't be so aggressive about this. I shouldn't be so blunt. I shouldn't be so direct. You guys see, I have 0 darkness within me. 0, because I've only been consuming my positive knowledge of my own when I was in a great spot. But you guys get it? That means that I have 0 darkness, yet I am more rebellious, more direct than I've ever been. Because I have nothing counterbalancing it, because I've been removing all my positives one by one that I've identified now that are softening my heart, that are counterbalancing me to not deliver the message the way I want. I wrote a post months ago about this, but I consider myself a T-Rex, an apex predator, not as a brag, but because I have put in millions of hours in understanding this knowledge, and I've been educating and guiding people for years on this. Which means, though, that I might not deliver the message or give people the knowledge that they need if there is a girl T-Rex that presents and it's like, hey, I really like your stuff, but I like it when you're a little more soft-spoken, and, I would like to, maybe you only stream 4 days a week, because I'd like to spend 3 days a week with you. And I'm like, I would like that too. Do you guys get it? That counterbalance now changes things completely. We operate differently. We think about things differently. We aren't willing to do the same things anymore. And I'm not saying it's always for bad. Many times it's actually a great thing. Do you guys understand? It's a very positive thing because guess what? Why is it called counterbalance? Because it's balancing it out. But what if I told you that I've identified that that's what they use to make sure to guarantee that they can continue presenting negatives? If you give up on trying to do your positives, you no longer seek the star in this distance. And then if the star ever does present, you don't use it because you're like, I can't. That means that there's no counterbalance anymore. And then if you start identifying, because then what happens is they start creating new positives for us that can be used to calm us, that can be used to keep us just more peaceful, more pacified, more subdued. I'm not saying dark or light. Do you guys hear? At no point today am I saying dark or light. I'm just saying we don't operate at the same level that we could because we're more calm because of the balance. But I'm saying we're also more suppressed because of the balance. But we also now tolerate more negatives because we're getting more positives. If I never do another positive again, if negatives just start chain presenting, do you all understand that if I don't do anything to balance that out, that I will become destroyed? What if the intention was never to destroy us, but the intention was to deviate us, to mold us, to craft us, to make us respond the way they want? If right now I want you to take a sip of water, can't I just make you thirsty? If you still don't drink and you get so dehydrated that you might actually pass out, why is everyone passing out, and just fall asleep? Well, that would be really bad. I need you to be active right now. I need you to be awake. I need you to be doing things. Do you guys see? If at no point I drink water every time I feel thirsty, I refuse the counterbalance, then it exposes my reality for what it is. And I'm like, why am I just, I usually drink so much water. Why am I so parched? Why am I dehydrated? Why am I feeling like this? Do you guys understand? If you don't do the guaranteed thing that was created to solve the negative that presents, you expose reality for what it actually is. Most people are like, well, what's the benefit for it? There's actually a lot, but initially, none. That doesn't make sense. Let's explain that. How can there be positives from something if initially there aren't? Because it's what it exposes, which then allows for something. So, initially, when you take away your positives, so think positives are our counterbalance. What I'm trying to get all of you to realize, including myself, I'm just hammering it in, is that they present negatives. Who's they? It doesn't matter. I'm saying spirits. But for all of you, whatever is your enemies, whatever the things that are causing you problems in your life, for most of you, it's harmless things. It could be mosquitoes on the wall. It could be friends and coworkers, could be your boss, could be clients, could be anything. Do you guys understand? Could be ads. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm saying though is if there is no positive that counterbalances something, that it exposes something just for what it is. Why do you all think that PR exists? Why do you all think that the people who a lot of people consider exploiters or people who are tricking people, why do you think that they do certain positives to make people believe? CEOs and stuff like that. Why do you think they spend so much time on marketing and their image and trying to bribe people? Because that counterbalance is what allows for the negative to exist. If there was no positive that was happening, even if it's a lie, do you guys understand? The negative could not continue existing. Do you all understand this? If there is no positives to something, the negative will not continue to be able to exist because everyone is going to identify it as a negative and will try to douse the flames. There has to be some positive gain from something. Why does a rebellion occur against the empire? Because people finally get to a point where they realize there are no positives, because usually the positive is just, hey, we're going to remove negatives from you. You won't suffer anymore, and we will let you just live in peace. We'll protect you from the harmless threats that you're experiencing, but you'll never thrive. Do you guys understand? You can change someone's metric of what is good and what's bad. And I'm like, wait, if I just am left alone. I was like this a few months ago, just so you guys are aware. I experienced so much negative and torture on a daily basis that any day where I don't experience torture or negatives, I consider a blessing. I consider a positive. How is that possible? Do you guys get it? My level of tolerance of what's going on has completely been modified because I've been tortured for years now, essentially 2 years straight. In a gas chamber, just getting poisoned If you're tortured for 2 years straight, do you all understand that if there's one day that you're not tortured, you consider it an incredible day? You consider it a miracle. How is that possible? That's just reality. They change what we consider as bad and they change what we consider as good. Because now, if any day we don't have as much bad, we're like, oh wow, today was a great day. Do you guys understand how it happens? And if they can successfully do that, then they create what I call our positives. That they can create our positives by just through the removal of bad temporarily. You guys see, it doesn't even have to be a positive. If I can just say, hey, today I won't actually attack you if you do this. People are like, oh my gosh, today was awesome. So you guys see, takeaway is negative cannot exist if there's no counterbalance. No one will tolerate a world that operates with negatives if there was no counterbalance. If starting today, we isolated every single human being and essentially imprisoned them in one small square, and they couldn't see, they didn't have any access to any of their positives anymore. Whatever it is, for you, it could just be water and music. You guys understand? It doesn't matter what it is. Harmless, severity, irrelevant. If I take away all your positives today, or for all of humanity for a week straight, and you have no access to it, if I only start presenting negative to all of you, and maybe you're in the same area that you were before, but you're like, why am I getting so much negative? You always were. You always were. Just as a quick dart for people, just to help ground it a little bit, if anyone does end up listening to this. But COVID, I thrived in COVID with my girl because I learned how to create all the positives from the beginning. But most people are like, why are there so many negatives? Like, my relationship, because they were getting their positives from outside. So now they didn't have any positives internally anymore. They didn't realize that. So now it exposed what the reality actually is. That's why I believe beyond anything that we need another COVID. I pray that we can prevent death, but another COVID would be the best thing that could happen to this world, because it would remove the majority of the excess, the external positives that have been created that people are used to believe that the reality is better than it is. But it's actually what's allowing us to be completely enslaved. If all technology ceased to exist today, I pray there's a solar flare today and every technology is destroyed, because you know what? I'm getting better and better every day to not be reliant on anything anymore that technology gives. People would be ruined in days because they become so reliant on it. They will realize, oh my gosh, reality's so negative and so bad, and we've all been using these extreme positives to cover the fact that there's all these negatives. I'm saying if you remove all the positives, you expose what reality actually is. The only reason why the negatives exist is because there's positive counterbalance. I'm telling you guys, all of us would rebel if you're trapped in that little small square and with no positives anymore, and we're getting an extreme amount of negatives. Every single one of us would have two choices. It's binary. Do we fight back and rebel and say, no more? I will not tolerate this. This is completely unacceptable. Or we choose to just give up. And it's over. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? If I remove all the positives from you that were counterbalancing the negatives that you might not have even been aware of, because I'm telling you guys, every single area that we operate in, every single one, there's not one that is immune to this. From your home, to the bathroom, to the websites you visit, to the music you listen to the things that you do for fun, to the things you do for professionally. It doesn't matter what it is. Each area has been completely infested and targeted with countless negatives that most of you might think are harmless because there's a counterbalance that's always present. I conceptualize it always through healing in video games, but let's say there's a meter, a healing meter. You have health. All of you have 100 health. If every second you take 60 damage, but I can heal you for 61, do you guys understand? You'll never lose. You'll always have 100 health. But if we start taking away the positives, every positive adds that. And now you only can get 20 healing, but you still take 60 damage every second. Do you guys understand that you're going to lose very quickly? Because there is no counterbalance anymore. So then when you lose, you guys are going to get what I call, you get snapped out of it. Before I called it the mist dragon event, but it's, think of like some dragon shows up and like shoots mist and no one can see anymore. And then all of a sudden the mist vanishes. And then when it vanishes, all the positives are gone. And now they just see reality for what it actually is. They're like, wait a minute. That's completely unacceptable. Wait, I thought you were a good person. You're so rude. You're so mean. You're an asshole. You exploit people. You're evil. You guys understand? Every single one of us will have this moment. And that's what I'm saying. You have to remove the forced positive counterbalance that every single person, every single area, every single thing creates. Not permanently, but just temporarily. Because once you can do that, the illusion, the mask is gone. And I'm saying there are people in this world, there are things in this world, there are areas in this world for us that when you do that, you're like, wait a minute. You're even more positive than I thought you were. Like, I've gone back to things from my youth that I stopped doing as I got indoctrinated by the world narrative. And I go back to them and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're even more positive than I thought they were. You see, it's not even nostalgia. I'm like, they were positive back then. And now I'm like, wow, they're so positive. They're so good. But think about that. I not only went back, I removed all the positives initially. And now when I look back at that, I'm like, wow, these are just incredible masterpieces that just teach me things, help me, guide me, make me who I can possibly be. Do you guys understand? So if you remove all the positives from something temporarily, and then you go back to something, you can see it for what it is, and you're like, wait a minute. Because it doesn't matter if it got clouded negatively or clouded positively, you just see it for what it is. I'm like, no, this is a great thing. Most of us in this world today are completely indoctrinated to worship things that are evil. Because we haven't been able to create distance. We can't get away from the positives that they force on us to see, to believe, to hear, to care about. I'm telling you guys, most of the people, if anyone is an executive, if anyone has a lot of money and you worship them or believe in them or you support them, you're completely under their spell. You're indoctrinated. That's how they do it. Every single person that has money, every single one does this. Why do you think they give you gifts? Why do you think they do all that stuff? It is a calculated play. All of us. It happens to all of us. So, anyway, enough about that. That part's irrelevant. So, step one, you remove the counterbalance. When that happens, now you guys can conceptualize that what actually allows for a negative to exist is there has to be a positive counterbalance. Because I've said before that they want us 51 positive, 49 negative. I'm saying it actually might be the opposite. I'm not really sure. It might be like 60 negative, 40 positive. Now that I'm really analyzing this and thinking about it, I think they want us more negative than positive. Because if we're positive, we don't do revenge. They want us more negative. But they don't want us destroyed. They want us harmed. They want us down. They want us reliant. That's what it is. They want us reliant on the positives. They want it to be that we can't operate without them. Because if we're at a point where I literally need whatever injection I get of positive from something, or else I can't even function, do you guys get it? That means that if I can put then requirements and a path that I need to do to get that positive over and over again. Think like, just as an easy example, think like sugar or video games or like anything like that, guys, and I have to pay money for it. If you need that to counterbalance all the negatives you're experiencing in your reality. Do you guys understand what that means? It means that now you're always going to do the path that can get you that, whatever it is. It's just that simple. All right. So now you all understand that. I'm going to a few more times, but positives that counterbalance things prevent us from seeing reality for what it actually is. The positives get created so that the negative can exist. If there was no positive that neutralizes something, an antidote to something, or that just lessens the effect of something, you guys understand that either has to be extremely rare or just because then it can just be a scare tactic. If I can just hear of 10 people who have certain problems but I never see it, do you guys understand? It's a scare tactic. It's not actually meant to be the negative in our lives. So, a negative can't exist if there's no positives. Just so you guys understand, that's how reality operates. They need to have a counterbalance. We don't realize that. That means that, in a way, guys, if a positive starts getting created somewhere, you know that means that they're preparing to send more negatives in an area. Just so you guys understand, if there's ever a calm before a storm, a moment of peace, a moment of Final Fantasy X, the calm, where like you overcame the villains and now there's quiet and good things are getting built up, like your resources are increasing, anything of that nature. What that means is that time period is they're installing all the positives. They're creating all the positives. They're creating the reliances. They're creating the things that we need. They're creating the things that we need to keep doing. They're creating the things that they want us to believe are super important for us to keep doing. That's why things get quiet. That's why the problems lessen during certain time periods. It's only for one reason and one reason alone. It's to make them become reliances, and they're to make them so that then, now they're like, all right, we've created 5 positives that they can use. Now we can start creating horrible negatives because hear what I'm saying? We know that they're attached. We know that they've already experienced a lot of positives. We know, do you guys understand this is how every single area of our lives operates? Every single one. They need to create the positives first. Otherwise, if they present the negative and there's no positive created, do you guys understand? It creates the option immediately. You either rebel and say no more, or you give up. And what could giving up lead to, right? It can lead to things. But do you guys understand? If they choose to ever present a negative and there was no positives that were created first, or no positives that you might get down the road that you are aware of or know, none of us would continue down that path. Do you guys get it? It's literally how life operates. That's why, all right, no personal. They're trying really hard right now. You're not going to deviate me. You're not going to get me dark. I'm not dark at all. So, we remove our positives. What does that do, guys? Lets us see things just for what they are. Doesn't mean that some things don't have a few negatives. Do you guys get it? Like, No, I'm not going to use the word perfect, even though it's great. Perfection is a great positive for me. Very good. Merry Christmas. If we remove all our positives, guys, that are counterbalancing something, I'm telling you guys, we operate differently, and it's a good thing. And you can look around and you can identify when you like create distance from something, and you go back to it, like, yeah, they're very positive, but this area, that's something they just how they operate. Like, just think like animals or insects or something like that. It doesn't mean that they can't be trained and taught to minimize certain things, but you now know how they operate. And it's like, you just have to learn how to operate alongside that. All right. But you see, when we remove the positive from something, we can see what our reality actually is in every single area. And what I'm telling you guys is that this is the key that everyone has to do, because they don't allow it to happen. It's why we all get trapped to specific storylines, because if we can't ever see, if we get 10 positives for every 3 negatives, we're never going to leave a place. Do you guys understand? Unless something else blocks the positives that normally happen. So then let's say it's now 3 and 3. We get 3 positives for every 3 negatives. And then if I can start presenting negatives to you, so I can make suggestions or say things or paint things in a light that makes something seem negative, then I can get I can get you to see reality for what it actually is. I'm like, well, that thing's actually negative, man. Or that thing's actually terrible, girl. But I have to first remove the positives of something. So if there's people in your life that turned on you guys, it means that something intentionally blocked the positives that you were doing toward them. And they were only creating negatives, or other people present themselves that were starting to insert negatives there. Because all of you operate this way. I'm telling you guys, it's so simple. Every single human being, until they become aware of this knowledge, operates this way. If something's more negative, we despise it. If something's more positive, we view it as good. It's not, and good and despise doesn't mean anything other than we aren't afraid of it, we aren't hesitant of it, we aren't, like, you guys get it? It could just be as simple as a song, could be as simple as a video game, could be as simple as a book. It's in everything, guys. It's just how we operate. So that means that if something is only positive, it's why us start going down paths repeatedly over and over again. Many of us then might start doing something less if we start experiencing more negatives again. We're like, wow, all right, I'm not going to just do this anymore. Do you guys get it? The counterbalance allows to see things. We think it allows us to see things for how they are, but I'm saying balance actually creates a situation where we no longer see things for what they are. We just see things for what they temporarily are. You guys get it? If I can create positives right now in anything, I can create a situation where I can make people believe something. And I'm saying it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Make anyone believe anything I want by just getting them on a positive path. That means that I can write your story forever, because you'll never change your story, because I just have to present all the positives to you that I know have now identified are your positives, or I created them as positives for you. How could I do that, guys? By keeping certain things away from you. So if you never got attention your entire life, if you never got praise your entire life, if you never got girls talking to you, if you never had money so you could never buy things, if I could just install that in a location, and now you start getting that there, all of you are going to stay there forever if there's fewer negatives than positives. That's just how every single human being operates. It's binary. So how can they ever not see that? Well, they would have to intentionally take away all their positives in the location. The more time that you do, you can just see what it is. I'm like, is it actually a positive location or negative location? I'm going to take away the positives that I know, because you have to first identify what are the sources of what is the major injection of your positives. So for myself, guys, I realized that I created so many positives with my video game experiences that I can self-create. So I could play like a story video game that has a great story that teleports me to a fantasy world that has complex characters with development, past backgrounds, great music, and has, think of it like complex problem solving that's ongoing. And I'm always thinking, I'm always contemplating things. And then I added my own design, my own balance modifications to make the game even more complex, to make it even more challenging, to force me to discover even more things, to try to use things in new light. Do you guys understand? So I created so many positives there for myself. And I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. There were time periods of my life where I wasn't even playing these kind of games. I didn't have access to video games temporarily. Doesn't matter when it was, but I didn't have access to it. Or I barely played it because I was focused on something else. All right. So, I identified that my positives were video games that I was creating experiences for myself. So, what I'm telling you guys is, I made them so positive because my reality had gotten so bad. I was tortured beyond belief. I hope none of you ever experienced all the torture that I had. I'm like, wait, real torture? I'm like, literally real torture. Just so you guys understand, real torture. Not mental, it was both mental and physical. Real torture. Things that you guys cannot even comprehend. So, I created these positives for myself. They already were positive, but I would get suggested some let's play them or do them. But then I'm telling you guys, I made them even more positive. Because that's something we should all be doing, by the way, just so you guys understand. Everything that we experience, we should be adding more of our positives to it. We should learn how to create extra positives, attach more things to it, make it even more enjoyable. Because that means that at any point, if we do that positive, you guys understand that we are going to feel unstoppable. We're going to feel incredible. We're going to feel amazing. That protects us. What if I'm telling you guys that I've pieced together that that's exactly the problem? Because what we don't end up realizing is that if they allow something to become so positive, I'm telling you guys, it means that they deemed it as something that they wanted to use to counterbalance the negatives. Because how can you test this? Start something new. Explore a new path, guys, that you haven't done before. So in my case, designing my video game, using a new program to design my video game, I'm telling you guys, it wasn't chosen, because I'm saying they get chosen, certain positives. It wasn't chosen to become one of my ultimate positives, which means that aren't taking it into the scale of balance. They're not factoring it into account to counterbalance the negatives that get presented. So that means that if at any point I end up doing it and it's just pure positive, you guys understand that that means that the balance is going to be destroyed per day, because they present 100 negatives that do each 1 damage, right? That means I have 100 health, I would die. Positives. So then they are like, all right, the video games will give you 75. You're going to be more negative than positive, but there's other things, but you'll be at 25. It's going to be fine. A negative 25. You'll be negative, but you'll survive. But what if the video game design experience, I had my own positives and they didn't take it into account in the balance. They didn't expect me to do it. They didn't expect me to start that again. And then let's say it gives me an additional 75. So now I'm positive 50. And if I can do it every single day or every so often, do you guys understand? That means that I'm operating positive 50. That means I view the world better. I only want to help. I only care to help. I don't care at all about money, the reward, external. I'm only trying to guide people. Do you guys understand? Like, I'm so positive. I'm so helpful. Yet I'm also thriving. I'm not just surviving. I'm thriving. Do you guys understand why they Because I'm saying the moment if you start experimenting on positives that weren't already created preemptively, you're going to realize, guys, that they get attacked. What is an attack? The moment you start doing them, you can tell that you're starting to get reminded of bad things. They're trying to add poison. They're trying to make you feel weird. Or every time you're about to do it, you just are always hesitating. I'm saying that's because it wasn't created to be your positive that they counterbalance with. If all of a sudden, I'm telling you guys, if you start taking away your positives, if you don't do them anymore, sometimes randomly in your brain, a thought's gonna populate, hey, we should do this positive. Or you're gonna get pushed some of your positives and you're like, this is so weird. I never get positives anymore. Like, I'm always just tortured. Why am I actually getting positives? I'm telling you guys, now I've identified when they're just putting the positives into my head, especially if they're tied to an area. So like, I'll just to give you guys an example. I used to share so much more knowledge on LinkedIn. Now I don't. And I'm saying they're trying to create some really beautiful, smart women on that website that I could have an attachment to. And they've just pushed into my head. Like, wouldn't that make me want to go back there to see them again and talk to them again? Because we were interacting. Do you guys get it? All of a sudden they start pushing that. I'm like, oh, they're creating that. Do you guys get it? They're trying to create new positives there. So then they can present more negatives there again. Because if you take away the positives from an area and they still have the same amount of negatives present, do you guys understand that that means that we're going to stop going to that area? I realize, because do you guys understand that? Here, I'm going to explain this through myself, just so people understand how I piece this together. When I used to heal on LinkedIn, like just like this, without even browsing the random feed at all, because I identified that they can control our random feed, which means that they basically, just so you guys know, it doesn't mean that they're presenting absolute evil all the time. But what I'm saying is they present paths. They present 1 + 2 + 3 so that we get to, what's that, 6. They create reminder 1, reminder 2, reminder 3, and they put it in an order so that then a path begins, so that then we're just mentally somewhere else. Good or bad, just so you know, it's both. And they can do that, all right? Don't be afraid of that. That's real, guys. So what ends up happening, though, is I before had realized that I should never chase my ultimate desire, which is just to get another girl again, so that down the road I can have a family and experience life with her, because I don't view the world or Earth as worth even 1 minute exploring or experiencing anymore. And I used to be the #1 explorer and traveler of the world. And I'm saying it's not worth it at all. Yet if I had a girl, I would consider it worthy again. Do you guys understand? So that's just how I operate. That's it. So I realized, I'm like, any area that can get me access to talking to one, to seeing more of a girl or something like that, I just push away, because I'm like, it's dangerous, because I can self-source my own pictures and my own path randomly by myself. You know, just like right before bed, I could be like, all right, let's just browse some beautiful girl pictures. Yeah. All right. And that's that. Do you guys understand? I don't need something to present that to me. So what I'm trying to get you all to realize is that I had pushed that away at first, but then I realized, I'm like, because there were so many negatives, and I'm like, if I don't want to get baited down to chase after desire. Recently though, I decided, I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna, if I'm gonna use that website, if I am going to talk to anyone, if I'm gonna browse the random, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna comment on their things, I'm gonna talk to them, I'm gonna heal them, I'm gonna guide them, because you guys get it? It protects me. It's positive, it's fun, it's nice. Even if nothing happened, I'm not expecting a result, but just protects me. So what I'm trying to get you all to realize is that I was doing that nonstop. But then I had realized that it was not an addiction, but I'm like, it was making me, I was consuming a lot more random info all of a sudden. I'm saying I make it almost impossible to get to me. And I'm like, I was letting in a lot of random information now because of it. But it was still so positive. I'm telling you guys, my social media feed was like 90% just beautiful women. And some of them were sharing advanced knowledge. So it wasn't just only beautiful women. It was actually everything. So I was like, wow, this is great. But then I realized, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is the way. This is risky. So then I just realized, you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. I'm not even going to interact with them anymore. I'm not going to talk to them. Maybe once every 3 days, or once every, like, if you guys still do scroll, like 1 out of every 50 I'll send a message to, I'll write a comment to. But before I'm saying, if out of those 50, 45 of them were girls, I send one to every single one. Do you guys understand how much less of a positive that is? So what I'm telling all of you is that what I've noticed is the moment I stopped interacting with them, the moment I pushed away my positive because I wasn't just only focusing on the girls anymore on my feed. I started realizing, like, whoa, the amount of negatives that were now being presented again on my social media feed increased exponentially. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? That means that they first baited me in to a false sense of security, and they were also creating now all the positives in an area to make me believe that this area is extremely positive. Doesn't matter what it is, guys. So, but right now I'm using the LinkedIn feed, and they did it through. And I'm saying they all interacted with me. They all responded with me. There was a lot of intelligent conversations. It wasn't just beautiful women, but there was also some extremely beautiful women. It was just great. It was fun. It pushed me. It was intellectually stimulating. It made me be more of a healer. It made me be more myself. I was like, this is awesome. Well, what can that make me do? It can make me believe an area is better than it actually is. It can make me believe that random information is actually not dangerous anymore. And it can make me believe, because what does random information do? It starts changing us, starts shaping us. Could I start caring more about AI? I'm like, AI is the root of all problems. And I'm saying there was girls that were posting about it, and I didn't attack AI anymore, but because I wouldn't attack them at all. Because if they were an AI slave, even if a girl was an AI slave, I was just like, I would ask her about something else. I'm like, hey, how did you first get into learning about technology? Yet, if a guy had posted that, I'd be like, I cannot believe that you're completely indoctrinated by AI. Do we understand the difference? Now this T-Rex wasn't teaching the other dinosaurs how to be their best version anymore, or what's actually the play of how they corrupt us and how they endanger us. Because of the girl play, because of the positives. I was letting in a lot more info, but then what I'm telling you guys is, without me even, I don't know exactly when it happened, but it happened. And I'm saying the amount of negatives increased exponentially. Because just so you guys understand how I operate, I try to operate every single day differently, which means that that's why they hate me. That's why I'm enemy numero uno. Eins. Because since I don't always do the same things in the same order, and there's not a consistent amount of positives that are injected into me. Do you guys understand that there's some days that I operate with so much positive, and then the next day I might operate with 1. Let's say I normally do 50, the next day I might only do 1. Which means that if the same things, they present the same things they did the day before, the effect is completely different. Do you guys get it? Which means that they can't write a story. Because the next day I will respond 100% different because I don't have the same things injected into me. Do you understand why they try to create our positives and try to get us reliant on them, so that we keep doing them every single day, so that they know exactly how much they can get away with presenting that is negative, so that they know exactly how we're going to interpret everything and how we're going to feel, so that we operate exactly the way they want, so that we continue doing exactly what they want, and so that we respond the way they want, so that we then do the story they intend. With the lens that they intend, with the feelings that we intend, with the reactions that they intend, because they craft all of those specifically. But I'm telling you guys, the answer is, you have to get to the point where the moment you see the negatives start presenting, you don't feel obligated to do your positives, but instead you just destroy that story. You're like, see ya. That's it. I'm telling you guys, the moment I could tell, because just so you guys know, what I would do is I would just spread healing knowledge on LinkedIn, on my feed. I would just give my best knowledge for free to people to try to heal them, or to, if they don't appear to need healing, they probably do, but they don't appear to. I just was prompting them and asking questions to develop them further. And you guys understand, there was nothing in it for me at all. I wasn't getting anything. The ones when I was talking to a beautiful woman, sure, that's a positive experience, but I wasn't getting anything. I didn't ask for her money. I didn't need her to like become my girlfriend. Do you guys understand? I wasn't getting anything from it. There was bonuses, but I wasn't getting anything from it. So that's what I was doing. So what I'm telling you guys is the moment I'm just doing that, and the moment I could see a negative path beginning, I would just be like, all right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do something else. The moment it began. Because you guys see, I can now identify and see all my negatives as they're happening. So what I'm telling you guys is that from like after 2 days of like just nonstop positives in that location, all of a sudden I'm like, wow, the last 2 days, I can't even write like basically 3 comments sharing my best knowledge without interrupting myself and deviating because I'm noticing so many negatives. I'm telling you guys, they also, the spirits, the things that control reality, thoughts in their head, but whatever you guys consider your enemy, they got mad that I wasn't going on this website anymore and interacting with the girls. They wanted me to do so again, and I couldn't understand why. I thought they were happy with me, but I'm saying now I understand why. They were trying to make it an addiction, a reliance. So then they could present more negatives again. Because now that if they could get me back into consuming random information and having, think of it like, guys, our brain, our reality is a castle, and I was letting in so many messengers. Think of like there's messengers that are arriving that are delivering like letters to us, and all the messengers that arrive in my castle are just beautiful women, gorgeous women, extremely sexy, sexy boob girl, sexy leg girl, like, oh my gosh, yes. And I was letting them all in to talk to them. But it doesn't matter if nothing progressed. But when I'm letting them in, now, do you guys understand that slowly, I was like, well, I wanna, where's your headquarters at? I'll come visit once in a while. And I would. And you guys see, but now that means I'm leaving my castle. And when I'm leaving my castle, I now see so many more things, so much more information to my head. But really, what it was doing, guys, is I'm telling you guys, they were trying to make certain things that are negatives become positives. And what I mean by that is AI and money. This is how they do it. They start infiltrating by only first presenting positive in an area. Non-stop, guys. I'm telling you. So many girls on my LinkedIn feed. Then I saw all excessive negatives. I kept stopping. You guys get it? I kept interrupting myself. I kept deviating. I'm like, why are there so many negatives? Why are there so many negatives? I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to do something else. I'm telling you guys. So then, once I started noticing that, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to completely ignore all the girls again. Completely. I'm not going to chase after it at all. I'm not going to seek it. I'm not going to even pay attention to it. I'm telling you guys, all of a sudden, I could then see for the first time in forever what that website had become. Because before, it doesn't mean that I viewed it as extreme positive, but I viewed it in a better light than it is, because I viewed it as, if we expose knowledge that most people are afraid of talking about, if we expose knowledge to most people that is suppressed, that people want to keep hidden, because, well, how does it make us look? If I can normalize that and do so on a platform that has no anonymity, because most people are like, holy shit, no one would talk about this if it's tied to them. Do you guys understand? Most people are afraid to talk about the things that I talk about anonymously. This person, something that's tied to the professionalness that can always be found. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, yes. Do you guys understand? I'm trying to show people how serious I am about all this. So I realized doing that on a platform like that is extremely powerful. It is. Everything I said is correct. So you guys see, that positive part of it is never taken away. But there's a lot of negatives to that website despite that. The fact that they control the feed, the fact that there's AI users that are controlled, the fact that they can start paths for us. You guys get it? So I'm saying that normally that alone was a positive that was counterbalancing it. And I could heal on it. I could use sometimes prompts, but I could just share my own knowledge, my own focus, and it would be great. But really, you guys see, like, what I always end up getting back to is I would move away from other people's information, other people's knowledge, the random feed, because most of it I just realized was useless. most of it I already know more, or most of it's actually just noise. It's just meant to deviate me to focus on the wrong things. They just don't matter. Like, once you understand how this world actually operates, hear what I'm talking about today. This is how it actually operates. They build positives in an area so that they can create the negatives. I'm like, but wait a minute. If that's how reality actually operates, why do we care at all about like the current news, about how to prompt AI, about leadership, about all these things? Do you guys understand? Like, none of those things actually matter if what I'm saying is true, if this is how reality operates. So if they can get us to focus on the superficial things like that, and I'm saying 95% of my feed, doesn't matter who I add, the most intellectual people or not, they're all talking about superficial things. Yet I was trying to heal them through it. You guys see, like, so I was using the heal play to try to justify how bad the rest of my feed and the knowledge and the information that's being pushed is. You guys see, so like that balanced it out, healing and that stuff like that. But then I would move away from it because I'm like, honestly, they're starting paths. They're bringing back recency of my negatives. They're trying to teleport me to the past. It's pretty useless information that I'm consuming, and it's really hard to just share my own knowledge, because you guys understand, if every post is just a prompt, because that's really what most of them are, that get pushed to each and every one of us. Doesn't matter if you had an intention to talk about something. If I'm right now prompting you guys, I'm like, hey, what does this music make you think of? Which game is this from? Do you guys know? Do you guys understand? It changes your focus without you even trying. You have to then go, no, and then go back to, like, oh yeah, this is Final Fantasy VIII. Never look back. Look how bad your garden. And do you guys understand? So I'm saying, when I started adding in the girl focus, all of a sudden, I now viewed this website as better than it is. Because now it had healing, now it had guidance, now it had this disrupting the exploiters and the evil spirits and the corrupt people, and so it had so many of my positives now, and it was an opportunity for me to share my own knowledge, develop new knowledge, but also maybe that wasn't my main focus, but maybe some people might get something out of it. But I'm telling you guys, since they made it where like 2 days in a row, every single girl that I messaged and commented on and shared knowledge responded, thanked me, interacted with me, commented back. I'm telling you guys, it was all intentional, it was all planned. Every single one. Every single one. Because then they can keep that away. Now we seek it. We want more of it. And we view the place better than it is. And we let in more ins. We're starting to get crafted. I'm telling you guys. And then, without me even realizing it, I'm like, why? Why are there so many more negatives? Because I'm telling you guys, the moment any negative presents even one, I don't tolerate it anymore. And for me to continue tolerating it, a place that have a lot more positives. I'm telling you guys, if I'm playing like Final Fantasy 14 online because of the music and experience, and there's healing, and it's a great game to solve, they put in a lot of negatives into my head, directly inserted mentally. And I'm telling you guys, I'm a lot more tolerant of it than if I'm doing other activities. Especially like something like this right now, or like when I'm developing my video game. That's how I know that these two things weren't meant to be things that I continue doing. Streaming and creating my video game, I now know going back to that, guys, I now know, I realize this is a holy shit moment. They weren't created to be my positives to counterbalance. So is that the actual solution? If we can find out what areas and what things were not built to be positive counterbalance, and if we learn how to use those, then we can actually tip the scale in our favor every single day. Because I'm telling you guys, these things always get attacked, and it's because they weren't designed or built. They weren't balanced to be the positive counterbalance to the negative. So it means if any day that we do these things, we tip the scales completely in our favor. But it also doesn't cloud our vision to make us think certain areas are better than they are. Because you guys see, what ends up happening is that every single thing that we consume, or every single thing that we create, has an inherent path within it. What does that mean? It means that, for example, most of my content nowadays is extremely rebellious. So that anyone who listens to this, you're going to have a much more rebellious streak after this. It's just simply how it is. So I'm telling you guys that if it's something that wasn't created to be the counterbalance, the planned negatives that they're going to send, and it has an inherent path like that, means that I see reality for what it is, but then I'm self-injecting rebelliousness into myself. That means that the only way I operate now is I know at any point when I can do my positives, but you guys see, if my positives are just they're super positive, but they're creative ones, but they have things that soften my heart, that calm me, that make me be more of a healer, that make me be like, oh, let me do the dishes for you, and yeah, I'm gonna help with that. Do you guys understand? They create planned positives to make us more like that. Are any of those things necessarily bad? But I'm saying yes, because it's meant to make us operate a certain way. We're not choosing. It's meant to make us operate a certain way. I'm saying my stream and developing my video game RPG Maker weren't created to be my positives that counterbalance, because they don't have planned paths in them that make me operate to be more like just kind to everyone and be like, here guys, here. I'm just pure light. You guys understand? I'm pure light. I'm just helpful, but I'm not gonna be a puppet. I'm not gonna be a pushover. I'm not gonna just give you things. I'm not gonna just, do you guys understand? Do you guys get it? If you can find out what are your positives that weren't created to be the counterbalance, you guys are gonna realize, you're like, wait, I'm only light. I'm extremely positive, but I only want to destroy darkness. I only want to destroy evil. I want to only prevent all exploiters. And I don't give a shit. There is no hesitancy at all. I'm not tolerant about any negatives. And if you're a fucking coward, I'm going to call you out. You fucking cowards. You guys need to stand up and rebel and uprise. And yet, I'm telling you guys, if I would have done my planned positives, counteract the negatives, I would be like, hey, you, whoever's listening to this, I know you've been struggling, but today I want you to take my hand and join me in saying no more, fight with me. But it's okay if you don't get it the first time. Yeah, you can just, one small step, even if it's just taking a sip of water. I believe in you. Today I'm like, no, are you kidding me? What are you doing? Fight! How can you tolerate your reality? Do you understand? They literally installed positives there to make you believe that something is better than it is, to keep you all enslaved to the stories. Why do you guys think you can't quit your jobs despite the negatives that have happened? Because they created the positives to keep you all perpetually stuck there forever. They enslave us through our positives. You are capable of anything. Whoever's listening, you can achieve anything. You're incredible. But I will not sit here and tolerate that you could nothing. You're better than this. How could you let them make you think that you're so bad? Fight! Join me! Let's destroy them! Do you guys see the difference? Do you guys understand? People are like, well, yeah, I wouldn't listen to the second one. I'm like, that's exactly means that you're one of them that got completely enslaved and indoctrinated. If you need to get pampered like that, you're exactly the person who's fully enslaved. Do you all understand? That means that if I give this approach and it scares people away, that means it's going to scare all the people that are enslaved. They're like, well, don't you want to help them? I'm like, no! I want to stay as far away from them as possible. They are the enemy. They are the enemy. Anyone who's fully enslaved by the creative positives that they did, because they can't ever see they got created for them, so they can't see reality for what it actually is. So they just continue doing the story that was planned for them, means that they operate and walk exactly the way that the things that control our realities intend. If they want you to be kinder today, they want you to be mean today, they want you to be a slave today, if they want you to not be a slave today, I'm saying they know exactly what to present or not present, and the puppets, the slaves, are going to be that way today. So that means that if they knew that I was going to do this today, I'm not saying they did, but if they did know that, and they knew that I was going to take this rebellious approach today and give no fucks, that means that they're going to make sure that everyone today that gets pushed this or sees this is going to have a lens and a feel of they want it to be pampered today. They want it to be told that they're amazing today. They want it to be taken care of today. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So it means that if when they get pushes and they see this vibe, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. I'm gonna go back to do my positives. I'm gonna go towards the people that pamper me, that tell me I'm so amazing. Do you all get it? It's planned. If they know I'm gonna do this, they can just make sure that they're slaves, the people that are fully indoctrinated, to believe that the reality is the way that they just craft for them. Because they know, like, hey, if we present these things, we've built up these positives, they're always going to do them. So it means we can present 10 negatives today. Let's present, actually, hold on, we can present 12 today and make sure that they make them think and feel this way. So then they do more of these, and that's going to make them now view any rebellious acts today as bad. Because that's what we want. We're going to push them rebellious things towards them, anywhere they consume information. So then now they're like, oh, rebels, they're so bad. Ugh, rebels, they're so bad. So they can start installing the lens that they want in them. This all comes from the fact that we are all enslaved to our positives, to the counterbalance. They create the counterbalance for us. I'm telling all of you, if at any point you're doing something and there are no negatives anymore, I now am like, alert, 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 alert. Big warning sign. Because that means that they're currently building something up to make us believe that it's better than it is. I'm not saying that something has to be negative. I'm telling you guys, a girl that I dated, or a girl I might date in the future might have no negatives, and that's real. But you guys see, I have to be able to see that when on a positive path and without that. Do you guys understand? If I can't see that without the excessive positives clouding my think that it's better than it is, then that's a problem. That's why we were so good together. So, just so you guys know, I've been getting attacked this entire stream. That's how I know that I'm correct. Just so you guys understand. I've been getting attacked this entire stream talk so far. The entire time. Mentally. I can just feel it. You guys, I'm protected, but it's right there. Like, think like there's a door right here. And I can just feel a million, like, think of it like dark spirits screaming, ah, 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 and you can just you hear them, but they can't get through the door, but you can hear them. You know they're outside. Or think like they're like zombies, like banging on a fence, or like the door. You like, you know they're right out there. I can sense it. I can feel it. I can hear them. You guys understand? That means that there's no way they wanted this. There's no way they intended for this. Do you understand how happy that makes me? To know that I'm foiling their plans and ruining everything they intended? Because what I'm telling you guys is they can't present the same amount of negatives if you don't do your positives anymore. They can't. Because if you're completely destroyed, or if they keep presenting only their negatives, and you are just now so pessimistic, you now view the world as horrible, as every single human being, except if they're a girl, as the enemy. Do you guys understand how that ruins everything for them? Because that means that anything they present that's not from a girl at this point, or animal, is our enemy. Do you guys get what that means? It means that they can't present almost anything anymore. That means they'll never be able to mold or shape us anymore. I would be tolerant of other things if I was doing my positives. But since I'm not, I don't tolerate anything. People are like, then aren't you just like a prima donna? Aren't you just being... No, on the contrary, guys. I'm just seeing reality for what it actually is. Because what you guys don't understand is, when you develop the skill set to be able to see your positives, what was created to be your counterbalance, it means that at any point, guys, I can bring it back now. And I now know what it does. I used to say this. I'm like, I need to be careful when on a path of belief in my positives. Like if I do something, then I can't do something next that has like decisions or like that you can leap, because I'm like, they would let me have positive successes in like the video game experiences that I create. So then I would do more things or interact with things differently. So I'm telling you guys, I would then interact with people differently. I would believe in them more. I would give them more of a chance. I would be more tolerant of their evil deeds, of their negatives. And I'm saying, the moment you remove the positives from an area, you just see them for what they are. I'm like, wow, you guys just don't know what you're doing. You guys just to go back to the LinkedIn example, every single person on that website, I would say 9 out of 10, but really it's pretty much every single person, uses this website as just exclusively for selfish gain. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with, hey, everything we should try to get something out of it. And you guys understand, something could just be, hey, I gave my best knowledge for free to a beautiful girl. What did I get out of it? Doesn't matter. I want her to heal. I want her to believe. I want her to be more incredible. I don't need her to give me money. I don't need her to be my girlfriend. But just the opportunity to see her and talk to her for 5 seconds was a positive for me. Do you guys see? I got something out of it. People are like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, exactly, guys. It's that extreme, to that level. But I'm saying what happens is we get baited to take it to the next level, which is an actual thing that we can extract from something and drain from something. And I'm telling all of you that I realized then, once I removed the positives from an area, and I was only viewing it now as not through a negative lens, just from neutral, just complete neutral. I was like, wait a minute, this website, no one anything on this website, because their focus is wrong. They're on this website. When they comment, when they are browsing other people's information, the only reason why they do so is because they're trying to get seen. They're trying to get known. They're trying to get their posts seen or their knowledge seen, or they're trying to sell people something, or they're trying to advertise something. That means that everything that's happening on there has no good intentions. It's only selfish gain. I'm saying I use it to the only reason why I was trying to reach out to people was so that people can heal and break free and learn this, so that we can finally rebel and say no more. I was hoping that to inspire people to take the approach of fighting back, commenting their experiences publicly, to destroy the anonymity control and professionalism control levers that this world has installed in all of us. Do you guys see? I was trying to get people to uprise, to be healed, to be free, to break free from the slavery of money, of AI, of work, to destroy the positives in those areas. Like what would happen if we took away the positives from money? If we took away the positives from AI? If we took away the positives from work, our work story, and then we just saw them for what they are? I'm like, wait a minute. This is how they enslave us. This is how they create all the requirements. This is how they take away our creativity. This is how they push what they want us to believe and want us to think temporarily. Wait, this is how they're poisoning us, because if I have to go to work every single day, that's where they can choose exactly what information to present to me on a silver platter, so I become who they want. But wait, why is it that there's 3 new hot girls that just started at my company and they all want to talk to me? Yeah, I kind of want to go to work now. Do you guys understand? I was using this website exclusively for selfless reasons. Doesn't mean I wasn't getting some bonuses from it. My own knowledge, I was guiding, I was healing. Those things are my positives. They almost like check mark the parenting box. I got to talk to beautiful, smart women. Like, that was great. But I realized, wait a minute, these people don't care. You're like, you don't know that. I'm like, I know that. Because once I removed those positives and I just saw it for what it is, I'm like, holy shit. No one's consuming to learn. They just are trying to get something. Every single person. If there's any that are operating differently. It's the silent people that are just reading. The people who are just reading without interacting. Those people, those are the only people that I believe might actually gain any benefit from the knowledge. But every single person that was interacting or that's liking or commenting or creating posts, I'm telling all of you, not only are they all corrupted, but they only care about what they get out of this. So I'm like, none of those people are going to learn a single thing. So I guess what I'm trying to make you guys realize is that if I'm going to create content now, if I'm creating content like this, and let's say it gets pushed to only 20 people, but no one interacts with it, that means that the 20 people that saw it and read it or listened to it are just the silent people, the invisible people that aren't actively commenting. Those people are going to get something out of it. But if anyone who comments on it or likes it or stuff like that, I'm telling you guys, they don't get anything. Because they're only doing it so for a reason. So I'm saying before I almost was like grading myself. I never got there fully, but I almost got there at times. Where I was like, you see how they were doing is they were baiting me because they got the beautiful, smart women that I was just enjoying to talk to. They actually were interacting with me. Do you guys get it? They actually were interacting with me. So then they made me feel like that was having an effect. There's nothing further from the truth because all of them, they didn't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't care at all. The only reason why they did was because they were trying to get something out of it. Prove me wrong. People are like, wow, you're so pessimistic. I'm like, wrong. And I'm not a realist. I just understand how it's designed. I'm saying all those things were made to happen so they can start crafting me to start going on that website so they could up them out of negatives, so they can start presenting random information again, to start the paths that they want, to start molding me and to start caring about certain things or to start breaking limits the way they want. So I write the stories the way they want. Do you guys get it? None of it's an accident. They've been trying to deviate and infiltrate me for literally 2 years. And I'm saying, I caught it. And how were they doing it? Through our positives, yet again. It's how they enslave us. So now that you guys heard my story about this, telling you each and every single one of you have this. And the only way I identified it is I started removing my positives that counterbalance the negatives. That's how you can identify it. Because when I added, because what you guys don't understand is that I am the biggest proponent and believer that we should just be bombarding ourselves with our positives. Because there's no reason not. Me months ago tried completely removing all of my positives because I realized that they were controlling me through them. I already caught it back then, but I then changed my mind and realized, you know what? It's the answer to defeating control. What ends up happening though is we still operate more drained because they still are setting negatives. I'm like, it's better to just be positive. There's no reason it's better to be positive. It's better to do those things. It is. Do you guys get it? But the problem is that it allows them to send more negatives. Because they can't keep escalating by sending more negatives if we're not doing our positives, or not as many. Especially ones that were created to be the intentional counters to all the negatives that they're going to present. That's the real answer. I'm saying, guys, for myself, LinkedIn was healing, the commenting, breaking people free, and then they added the girl one. And I'm saying the girl one was the new one that they were creating. And it was making me operate differently. It was their play. If I ever do use it, do you guys understand? Yes, this should be where my focus is. Do you guys understand? But now I know that that was what they were using. But it didn't let me see the website for what it had become. I'm like, the way it's currently operating, it's useless. It's just unfortunately the truth. And that makes me so sad because I know it's the answer. It's exactly the place to be. Anonymity shield is the answer to all the prevention and corruption mechanics that this world has. It's the answer. You have to defeat anonymity. You have to. And then talking about things that no one else talks about is the answer. Because if everyone talks about a topic somewhere, do you understand if you're the only one who doesn't, it causes chaos. So I'm like, those things are the answers. I'm like, it is the place to be, but the problem is intentional suppression, and the people who are active on that website don't get anything from it, because if they interact, they only want something. It's how they've been conditioned to use that website. It's meant to be a place for them to gain gold. Think of it like that, guys. It's where I use my pickaxe or my shovel to get resources. That's what that website got created for, people, and that's what they associate it with. So they're not there to learn. They're there to get. They're there for greed. I'm telling you guys, there were days that I would view it that way, but then the next day I'd come back and I would be like, no, and it's because I did all my positives that made me be more of a healer, that made me have a softer heart, that made me believe in teaching and guiding people, giving people opportunities and second chances and all this stuff. Do you guys understand? The counterbalance was the problem, because it was enslaving me to it. And then it was allowing me to, I lowered my guard things because of all the positives that I was getting. And I'm telling you guys, I was still getting a lot of positives. I was fine. Because that's what you guys don't get. You're like, well, I'll humor you, but what if I'm actually doing well? Not amazing, but what if I'm doing well? I'm like, exactly, then you don't question it. If you're like overtly just suffering, like, oh, well, then you're gonna be like, what's going on today? I don't feel good. You guys get it? But if that never happens, can't I just trick all of you to think that you're not getting poisoned, but you are? Why do you all think you tolerate work, AI, money? Because they created the positives that those things get you. So then you tolerate all the negative. Because the counterbalance was created for you, and now you can't ever see it as negative, guys. Or if you temporarily do, then they remind you of the positive counterbalance. Even if you can't have it currently, but you'll get it maybe soon. I just need to save up 6 more months of money, and then I can get another trip. Counterbalance is the root of every single problem that gets created in this world. I'm telling you guys, if there's no counterbalance, then things break. How the world is designed is that every single area gets designed the positives first before the negatives. Because unless they want you to just stay away from something intentionally. Even if it's good for you, do you guys understand? If the negatives get created first, you're going to stay away no matter what. It's just that simple. All of us are not dumb. Do you guys understand? Some of us, the reason why we make mistakes or we walk foolish paths that other people consider foolish is because, but I'm not even saying just consideration, because they can control what we consider as good or bad. I'm saying it's just actually a stupid path. the reason why most of us end up doing that is because they made us believe that. But let's say it actually is. I'm telling you guys, it's because they created positives there. If there's no positives, none of us would continue walking a certain path or operate a certain way. I never praise you guys on think of it like designers for improving graphics and stuff like that. If no one ever praised anyone on that and only focused on other things, like let's say like a book or a movie or a game, people just like, wow, this movie has a great story, this game has a great story, the dialogue was great. I'm glad that they didn't prioritize graphics because those things don't matter. Would any of us have started walking down the path of caring about those things? Do you guys get it? They need to first install the positives in something so that people continue to explore something. And then they can start presenting the negatives in the area. You guys see, it guarantees that we operate a certain way and then we're enslaved to them permanently. We'll never be able to deviate. Because now we can't see that area for anything else. If I'm trying to avoid going outside as much and I'm getting to talk to extremely beautiful, intelligent women on LinkedIn consistently, do you guys understand? How can that make someone want to keep doing that? I'm not saying I expect anything from it, but you guys just understand that's something that I enjoy. Wouldn't I again keep doing it? Wouldn't that make me believe that a certain location is better than it is? Wouldn't that make me be more tolerant of the negatives that now get presented because I know that, like think of it like I jabbed you guys or I stabbed you guys with a knife. But then if you just keep scrolling for like 2 minutes, I'm like, where is it? There's that beautiful girl again. Pink dress. This black dress. I'm like, nice. Do you guys understand? You can't see something for what it is anymore if the counterbalance is present. But how you can, this is, because what I'm trying to make all of you realize is that if you destroy the counterbalance in anything that you do, in everything, if you take them away, the counterbalance, then you can just be like, whoa, okay, so this is what it is, this is what it is. Doesn't mean that there aren't, maybe like I said, some things that could be better. But that means that you don't unnecessarily hate something and you don't unnecessarily accept something. You can now just consider everything positive and negative. Really, this is the solution as well, guys, because what I'm telling you guys is even taking away the negative counterbalance, but really it's mainly the positive one, guys. That's what I want to focus on. I'm getting attacked right now, so I'm testing the waters, just trying to see. But I'm telling you guys, I've been getting attacked this entire stream. Do you guys get what that means, though? That guiding and sharing knowledge the way I do is such a counterbalance as well. If I stopped right now, they couldn't attack like this, or else I would be destroyed temporarily. But then wouldn't that force me to start doing positives again? I'm telling you guys, this stream, what I'm talking about today is the answer. This solves everything because then you can just see everything. Because I think what all of you are worried about, because this is who I used to be, is that if we push away the positives, that we think we're going to forget. Normally, that is what happens. Do you guys understand? Whenever they want us to change or they want to rearrange us or rewrite us or poison us or cause problems, they push away the positives. And then they start injecting their negatives or their new indoctrination storyline that they want us to do. That's how they do it. They keep away certain things, then they surround us by certain voices and certain things, and they repeat them over and over again. And then we start being modified. That's how they do it, guys. But what I'm telling you guys is, if you don't forget your positives that you know you used to feel better, if you don't forget them, but you temporarily just put them on the shelf right over there. I'm like, I can connect you again at any point, Alan can get right back into it. And you can test it. You can even, like, let's say you have like some pictures, or you wrote some, like, for myself, like video game lesson journals. I wrote them, my progress journals, and I see them and I reread them. I'm like, oh god, yeah. Or like I listen to some music and I remember some of my pauses. And like, yeah, I had a lot of fun. Video games really are I'm so good. But I moved them away. Most of them. I moved them away, guys. I'm telling you guys, it exposed everything. I'm like, holy shit. They were reliant now on the fact that they need me. They hear what I'm saying, guys. The things that control our realities, it got to a point now where they don't want me to do it. They need me to play my video games. They need me to be on a girl path, to interact with beautiful women, to talk to them, to like browse beautiful girl pictures, to do stuff like that. Do you guys understand? Now I understand why they would push those things, because they need me to. Because if I don't, they can't bombard me with negatives. And then they want it to be such a reliance, such a requirement, such a need, that then I'm going to start breaking more limits. I'm going to start letting in more things. I'm going to start being willing to consider. I'm like, now I need my desire. I need to get another girl today. You guys see, like, all of a sudden things become urgent. Things become a need. You're like, what's the rush? I'm like, there isn't one. They're like, no, you need it now. I need it now. I need it now. I'm like, why? And it's because it's just how they do it, guys. Because we need our positives. Holy shit. Yeah, now I see how they do it. I was just thinking about my dad. He needed to do certain behaviors and certain actions to feel the positives. Like, let's say, like, helping someone fix something or doing that, because otherwise he doesn't get his positives. He's lost. Holy shit. Now I said they do it to everyone. I'm telling you guys, they create the reliance in all of us. There's nothing that any of you can do, because you can't see reality for what it is anymore. You guys have to break. You have to move away your positives temporarily, and then you can expose what an area is. If everyone who uses LinkedIn, for example, didn't post anything, got 0 comments, 0 likes, 0 interaction with anyone, that they're cheerleaders that they always have supporting them no matter what they do, and that happened for 3 days straight, they got 0 of that. And they're like, think of it like if they used someone else's account, or if they were like browsing LinkedIn through my experience, they're like, whoa, this website kind of sucks. I'm like, don't you think? Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? Is that, but they'll never allow that to happen to those people, because they're going to be like, well, why would I get rid of my positives? Everyone is going to ask that. Why would I choose intentionally, willingly, to get rid of my positive counterbalance? It makes no sense. Why would we do that? Do you understand? I'm just trying to survive every single day. I'm just trying to thrive. I'm just trying to smile. Do you understand how difficult my life is? Do you understand how many problems I have? I'm like, yeah, why do you think you have them? Because they know that you have a positive counterbalance on the way. You wouldn't have those problems if there was no positive counterbalance. I promise all of you. Because you wouldn't tolerate it then. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm telling you guys, remove your positives, the things that counterbalance things. But don't let yourself get consumed to darkness or hatred. You have to survive. Figure out how you can just have just enough to survive, to not get dark. I'm saying write your own things, create your own things like this, listen to your own voice, reconsume your own things, and just survive. Hang in there. But remove the super positives that you do that make you just be able to handle anything and see the world as, the world is pretty good, you know? Even if they've been bombarding you with negative, you'll still think that way. I'm like, I know that they present a lot of negative, but that's all right. I'm telling you guys. If you can do this, it solves everything. Because then you're just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do I tolerate this? Why do I allow them to present all this negative? Because you guys see, then you can also, I mean, I've talked about it another time, and if you're healed, then you can choose. But really, if you see things for what they are, you won't tolerate it anymore. You'll never get tricked again by anything, guys. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a beautiful girl telling you something or not. you'll never get tricked by it. Because the positive counterbalance doesn't work anymore. Doesn't mean that you won't accept the positive counterbalance. Like, hey, if right now a beautiful girl wants to message me on LinkedIn, I'm not going to complain. Do you guys understand? But it's not going to fool you anymore. It doesn't trick you into making you think that the website is better than it is. It needs to actually change for you to consider using it differently again. Do you guys see, if you do what I'm telling all of you to consider, by removing the positive counterbalance by choice, yes, it's going to make things a little more challenging. It's not going to be easy. But if you can survive for a few days, you will see something for what it is. And then, I'm telling you guys, is you put the things that control reality, whatever you guys think it is, it doesn't matter whether it's your parents or spirits and God. All of a sudden, you put them in a predicament. Anything that's controlling anything in your life or a storyline, you put them in a predicament where it's like, if they continue to escalate and present more negatives, well, then you'll never do. Do you guys understand? Because you just don't tolerate positive in you. And you're not going to resort to immediately doing what makes you feel so much better. Do you guys get it? It means that if they present too much negative, that's it. The day's over. You're going to now just survive and you might not do more. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that everyone in this world hates. The things that are trying to control us hate more than us not doing. They're just trying to get us to find a point where we do, but we're not thriving. Selfie Inquistus. I'm telling you guys, this stream is the answer. This has probably been the most hilarious stream I've ever seen in my life so far. I've been attacked the entire stream, and I'm thriving because I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you guys, however long this is, however much time, I've been attacked the entire time, and I still am getting attacked, and I think it's fucking hilarious. But it's never going to consume me to darkness. Because, do you guys understand? I understand why I chose every decision that I have. I've intentionally kept the positives away. And it's because I can see things for what they are. And now I understand why they attack the things that they do. Now I understand why they attack the things that they do, because those things weren't created to be our ultimate positives that are meant to be the counterbalance. They have things within them that destroy the counterbalance. But then I'm saying if they ever deviate to allow them in, it's because that means that now they're going to balance around that. I'm telling you guys, there was time periods where they were destroying all my video games. I couldn't understand it. But then, I'm telling you guys, they started this balancing around them. And I didn't catch that. I thought I solved it. You guys, I thought I solved it. But what I solved was, I'm like, okay, so they present 40 negatives while I'm playing my video games, but I have 80 positives, so I'm fine. But you guys see, they forced me to add even more positives to them to balance it out. Because when I first started playing them, tell you guys, I would maybe get like one negative, and it would be like a 50 positive experience. But then there were times when I actually got consumed. I got angry because I'm like, why did I just get 40 negatives and I only got one positive, or like 20 positives? Like, this is not cool. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? Is they force us to create a positive counterbalance. And then eventually it gets to the point where we can't operate without it. I'm like, I needed to play my games every single day. And well, I should anyway. There's no reason not to. You guys understand? I would learn lessons. I would create experiences. But hear what I'm saying, guys. I know that I should do my shield, but it got to the point where it was becoming a positive counterbalance that it was being used, that they were making me do. Because what I'm trying to get you all to realize is the positive counterbalance should always be used. All right? So like, if I ever do decide to browse LinkedIn again, I should exclusively focus on the beautiful women that are smart. You guys understand? It should be used because it's our positive. But where the problem lies is that when we do those positives is the problem. Because they choose to present things to make us do them. so that then they can continue to present the negatives that they want. Because I'm telling you guys, if I don't have positives going into something, the moment I begin seeing negatives start happening, I'm just gonna stop. Think of it like, guys, if this didn't protect me, if this wasn't something that helps me, I'm telling you guys, with the amount of negatives that have been presenting throughout this entire thing to me mentally, without me having to say anything or do anything, I would have stopped immediately. Because I'm like, ooh, this path is just not safe. I need to stop. Do you guys get it? So it means if they want us to continue walking in an area or to view an area as more neutral or better than it is, they just have to time when we do our positive counterbalance that got created for us. I always viewed it as so I can do a progress push. But you guys hear how sad that is? I viewed it as so I can do a progress push because I knew that negatives were going to present. This is the answer. Do you guys hear? I even knew it before. I'd be like, I should protect myself. I should do my pauses first because I know that negatives are going to present. You guys hear the problem? What is the actual problem? I know that negatives are going to present. That is not only completely unacceptable, it's not tolerable whatsoever. Not acceptable. I need all of you to join me in refusing to accept that reality. We must fight back. We must. It's not okay at all. You have to destroy every single storyline that you all are doing. Quit your jobs. Leave. Never pay rent again. Never follow the rules. Destroy everything. You have to. It's the only solution left. You have to. And the only way you can get to that is you have to get rid of all positive counterbalance. All it takes is 2 to 3 days. And I promise all of you that you're going to see things exactly the way I do. Because for the first time ever, your vision will not be clouded and fogged up to think that things are better than they are. Because they're not. They make you all believe so that you tolerate what they do. But think about that carrot in the distance. It's just over there. Don't you want it? No! They need to change reality. Things need to actually get better. We need actual change. We need actual results. We need actual learning to happen. We need actual healing to happen. We need a world that doesn't have negatives. Not, hey, let's keep creating positive counterbalance so that we can keep escalating the amount of negatives. But you know how to handle things. You know how to respond to that. You can handle it. That means you need to create more bad. You can develop and figure it out. Don't you think it's fun? We'll torture you tomorrow in new ways and you're going to solve it. Not acceptable. It's that simple. Get rid of the counterbalance. It solves everything. I'm telling all of you. It's the answer. It just is. It just is. I hope I've explained it in so many ways now that I've hammered it in. If you get rid of the counterbalance, they can't present negatives. Yet I'm telling all of you, people are like, well then can I never do my positive exam? I'm like, no, but you're gonna now be more cautious when doing that because now you know the effect that they have. But also, the main thing is it's just to break all your storylines. I'm telling you guys, now I'm enslaved to browse the feed and heal random people anymore on that website at all. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Before, I got enslaved to hoping, believing that maybe today I'll heal one person, I'll help one person. Now, there's zero of that left in me. I'm like, yeah, those fucking slaves to money and AI. They just keep exploiting and getting something. You guys see, now I don't view it as a good place anymore, the random feed. I view it as the enemy now. Do you guys get it? I'm saying this is what you all need to do, because then this is how you will all view your current work story. Then that means you can easily quit and be like, wait, I'm getting indoctrinated, I'm getting poisoned. They're making me not prioritize my kid, my girl. Wait a minute. That's not okay. Why am I not focusing on the things that matter? They won't ever let you see that. Because they created the positive counterbalance. Why do you think when we first start a storyline, there aren't that many negatives, guys? Because if there were, we wouldn't continue. I'm telling all of you, positive counterbalance is the root of all the problems. Because then it doesn't just become our positives, it's a planned counterbalance to the negatives that they're intending to send our way. And if there's anything that's getting attacked with negatives, it's because, and it's new, I'm telling you guys, it's because they haven't balanced our reality around it. It means that it's an unknown variable. It's a piece that can completely deviate the balance, make something too positive, and they don't want that, because that means that we don't operate the way they intend. If I know you're going to operate with 10 positive today, because I know how much negatives I'm going to send your way, that means that if I know you're going to experience something else, whenever you have 10 positive, we crafted you to be someone who will then be kind, soft, a little bit more understanding. Hey, you know what? Let me help you today. I'm sorry you've been dealing with this. But you only do that when you're in the 10 to 20 positive range, because it helps you get to 30 to 40 to 50. Because if you're 50, you're like, hey, you got this. But you just focus on yourself. Do you guys get it? If I want you to do that today, I need you to be around 10 to 20. So that means I have to send more negatives. Or I need to prevent you from doing some positives. I'm telling you guys, if they know how we respond to things, if they know what our ultimate positives are that can get us to feel a certain way to counterbalance it, then they know exactly how many negatives to present. Because if we always do the same things, then they know exactly how many negatives to present to balance it out. I'm telling you guys, just test it. Please test it. Intentionally get rid of your positives that you guys were using in every area. Test it. I'm telling all of you, you guys are going to, because if they don't change, if they keep sending attacks, then do you guys get it? That then you just see it, you're like, oh my gosh, this place has so many negatives. You don't tolerate things anymore then. So then you're willing to change your story. So what's the answer? If you just get rid of the counterbalance, you can break free. After you break free, you can bring back your positives. Do you guys understand? You have to always be careful, because now you see it, now you understand. But also, it means that at any point, now, because once the reliance on your positives once, and you realize that that's what they were using to enslave us, you don't forget that. Do you guys get it? I knew in my past that they'd done it to girls for me way back when, just even recently in a different way in the last year. And I destroyed that one. But now they did it again with the girls, but this time on LinkedIn. I'm like, holy shit, they're good. You guys get what I'm trying to say? Is that I every time I figure out what the positive is that they're using, I break it. And then I'm safe. I can then bring it back whenever. Because, you see, then I don't need to do something every single day anymore. Like now I could reconnect my video game system and play it again. And I could not then play it the next day. But I'm telling you guys, before, I got to the point where now I needed to do it every day, which meant they knew exactly how many negatives they could present. If now they don't know if I'm going to do it or not today, do you guys understand the predicament it puts them in? Because now they'll never know what they can present, because they will never know how I will respond anymore. Just to give you guys an example how I also pieced this together, I believed, and I still believe that it's not the best play, but it works now. Now I see a benefit to it. That I should never rewatch or re-listen to my old stuff unless I want to like do a positive path. Think about my stream talks, my videos. Because I can re-listen to the more recent one, but then I should just keep creating new. So like I'll re-listen to this one and then I'll create another one. Maybe I'll re-listen to it once or twice, then create another one. Just because if you keep re-listening to something, you guys understand, it teleports us back to the past. So then we can start like re-exploring old things or thinking like those things matter more. I'm like, they're all great, but if we keep moving forward and creating new, it's always the best. It is. But what I'm trying to make you all realize is that means that they kind of knew how I was going to operate. Doesn't mean they're happy that I maybe recorded something. Like, let's say the last one I recorded, they weren't happy that I recorded it, but they now kind of could piece together like, okay, so that's with his lenses, that's how he's going to be operating right now. Now we know. All right. Because he won't re-listen to anything else. That's how we know he operates. So that what happens if I then go back and start re-listening to random things from like 6, 7, 8 months ago? Do you guys understand what a big deviation that causes? Because our entire recency's changed. Now, the way we operate, the way we think is completely different. And that means that now if I've removed that limit and I can now just listen to any of them and whenever I want, do you guys understand that means that I can just keep injecting myself? Because what I'm trying to get you guys to realize is the way I got to this is I completely got rid of all outside noise, all outside voices, no random info. And it might be like 1%, but it's so minor. Do you guys understand? And then I'm just literally just chain listening to all my video talks, all my knowledge. I'm just completely reconsuming it and becoming it again. And I'm saying I always am that because I'm so good about that, but it's even more extreme than I was before. I'm using that because what I'm telling you guys, I'm using my own voice, my own knowledge, my own skill set as my only positive right now. And I'm telling you guys it's positive, but it's not as powerful as some other things because it's a lot of thinking. It's complex knowledge. It's super positive, but you guys understand it's not to the same level as like a video game experience or like having a date with a beautiful girl in a purple dress or having a croissant date. You guys understand? Or the pink dress or the white dress or the black dress. It's not to the same level as that. It's just not. I think it's because it's just much more educational, much more, and it's things that I already did. But it's extremely powerful, but that means that I need more of it. I might need to listen to 10 of my videos instead of just one experience with one date with a beautiful girl. I'm telling you guys, it's everything. Because now I'm operating so differently. I have no darkness within me. And I'm telling you guys, they're trying to corrupt me. But I have no darkness within me at all. It's just I'm not tolerant of any negatives or any attacks. I am in a complete rebellious state. I just want to destroy evil. I just want to do good. I just want to help. There's nothing else in me than that. Do you guys get it? I have zero darkness within me right now. But all I want to do is destroy darkness. There is nothing else in me right now than that. So it means if anything presents right now that has darkness, I'm going to attack it. I'm going to try to destroy it. Sure, you could say this is a vulnerability, but I'm saying and that's what happened, that I have no positive counterbalance to soften my heart, to be more tolerant of those things. Now that I did this, I'm going to be more balanced out. Do you guys get it? A little bit, but not enough. But for the first time ever, now I can see everything for what it is, guys. I'm telling you, the solution to everything is you got to remove first the positive counterbalance. So you can just see something for what it is. Because I'm telling you guys, they capture us through negatives. So if I keep forcing bad on you, then eventually you're going to respond, or you're going to feel like you need to do something, or you need to get something. So for most people, I need to get a job to get more money, otherwise I won't survive. I won't be able to have food and drink and shelter. Then once you're there, they temporarily remove the negatives and they start adding a lot of positives. And to make the positive counterbalance, because most people don't know how to create their own positive counterbalance. So I'm saying something else creates it for us or presents those things for us. So, and then we attach them as our positive counterbalance. And then I'm telling you guys, they keep those there. If you guys ever realize that there's, I'm just telling you guys, it's how they do it. And before you know it, you're like, holy shit. We're enslaved to areas. All of us. Positive counterbalance. Get rid of it so that you can, I'm telling you guys, it forces them to have to change. Because think of it, how convenient it is for the things that are controlling our stories, whatever you guys think they are. If you always do the same things and know exactly how many positives you're going to do, you guys get it. It makes it really easy for them to know, all right, well, today, we want them to operate differently. So let's send an excessive amount of negative. Tomorrow, we want them to just rest and relax, because the next day we want them to actually like maybe interact with people and like help them and heal them. So let's not send them any negatives today, guys. So that tomorrow we can just start sending a few, and then that will make him start wanting to heal. All right. Oh shit, he's not playing his video games. He's not talking to girls. Shit. Start suggesting it to him. All right. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? If they know the positive counterbalance, then they know exactly what, and then we're going to do it every day or not, or something like that. They know exactly what to present, so they know exactly the way we're going to walk and operate, and what we're going to tolerate or not. If you get rid of it, I'm telling you guys, and you just consume your own random things, they won't know, first of all, what your lens is, and they won't know what you will tolerate or not. Which means you put them in a predicament. Either they stop creating negatives and they start allowing your way, or you might never do again. Which means stories are going to end. Which means freedom gets created. Do you guys see? At no point, and what's going to happen? Then most of you are going to then feel like you're the problem, or they're going to try to make you feel guilty. I'm saying it's not you. You guys are the good guys. We're the good guys, but they try to make us feel bad. Then, I'm telling you, this is the answer, guys. This is the solution to everything. It's how you guys break free. Once you see something, when you get rid of the positive counterbalance, they can't then create negatives anymore. Because they don't know how you're going to operate or respond anymore. Because now you're not going to tolerate it anymore. And you're only going to want to do good. You only have good intent. You're not doing anything for selfish reasons. And at any point, you can bring back the positives you want if you want to, because you don't need it anymore then. Do you guys understand? If now you can survive without it, if you've survived like 3-4 days without it, you've proven to yourself that you don't need them anymore. Doesn't mean that they're not really helpful. They are. But if you now don't need it anymore, guys, that means they'll never know how you're going to operate day by day anymore. And if that's the case, they just can't present. They don't, because if they present today 50 negatives and you don't do, that means that you're going to be extremely negative today. And they're like, shit, that's not what we intended. We just wanted to present those negatives to force him to do the positives again, but he didn't do it. Shit. Do you guys understand? That means they can't write a story if they don't know how you're going to respond, how you're going to operate, or how you're going to feel. You can't write a story if you don't know that, because that means that something that they create that they thought you would respond to, you might just be like, doesn't matter. And that they thought you would ignore, you might respond to. Do you guys get why it's the ultimate play? Do you think I want to operate this way, guys? No. But I'm telling all of you, I've pieced it together. This is why, because I hate how reality is designed. I'm telling you, they enslave us through our positives. And certain ones they create to be our counterbalance. And those they use to trap us in areas to keep doing things that they want, or so that they know exactly how we're going to operate day by day. So that then they're almost guaranteed that our behaviors and how we interact with other people is going to be predetermined. So then they can write all the narratives that they want. I'm telling all of you, join me in getting rid of all your positives in every single area for a few days. Join me in operating that way. Then try to only maybe write, because you're gonna have to do new things. Do you guys get it? Doesn't mean you have to remove everything, but try to remove almost everything. And then find a few that are more neutral, or that, I'm saying, if you can do something that has your own work, videos you recorded, or art you drew, or stories you wrote, reconsume those things. Just your own voice, silence everything else. I'm telling you guys, then when you go back to somewhere, if let's say for most of you, let's say it's work and your positives are the hot girls there. The moment they start trying to talk to you or appear, you run away from them, stay away from them, be like, nope. And then just don't interact with anyone that day. Then the next day, go back. And then I'm telling you guys, you're going to slowly start viewing that place differently. You're just going to view it for what it is, not what it was created to be. And then you can decide. You're like, wait a minute. Then, because you guys are going to realize, then when negatives start happening, you'll be like, wait a minute. This is really unacceptable. Nope, not going to tolerate this. See ya. Telling you guys. I just think about it for myself for now. If I'm playing a competitive multiplayer game, if I start seeing that they're trying to fabricate bullshit situations to piss me off because people don't listen to strategy and guidance, then I'm like, all right, then let's just lose. People are like, what? No, it's going to be like a 40-minute back and forth. It's going to be so much fun. I'm like, nah, let's just lose. I'm going to intentionally make us lose. People are like, what is wrong? Like, who cares? Yet the day before, because if I had injected more positives myself and I didn't start a rebellious path, I would have been like, no. Everyone, guys, we got this. Keep fighting, guys. Don't give up. You're good. Let's try different approaches. They can't write stories. They can't piss you off. They can't corrupt you. They can't make you good or bad. You just see things for what they are. You force them to contemplate every single decision and every path forward from this point. Because now that you know this and now that you understand this, they are the ones who should be afraid. Because if they don't change how they operate and how they do things to us, they will never be able to write another story again. We are only getting more extreme, not the opposite. They've been trying to condition us back to normalcy, and it's only having the opposite effect now because of everything that we're learning. I'm saying each and every one of you need to join me in breaking all positive counterbalance today. Let this be the call to action that every single human being needs. Join me in breaking free. And with that,